Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of Are You Getting Fucked? I'm your host, Louis Rossman. On this channel, I've talked a lot about flock cameras. They're known as automated license plate readers, but they're not really automated license plate readers. They're actually cameras that have very advanced AI in them that tries to figure out who you are, even if you have the license plate taken off of the car. They are listening for gunshots. They also listen for human voices. It's very, very creepy. They're being put up everywhere in many different cities. They give the city employees the ability to tell where you are at any point in time. It logs this information. It is accessible without a warrant by any, so you have really no way of getting around this if you use public infrastructure, use public roads to get around. And one of the things that I've said about this is that it's going to continuously get worse if you allow this to continue. And it looks like it has. Welcome to LSAG SignalTrace Intelligence System. So the way this works is your devices in your car, the stuff that you carry around with you every single day, have data and have little things that they give out about them. I'll just give you a very, very basic, oversimplified example. Cybersecurity people, please don't rip this too much to shreds, but yeah, I'm just trying to get the idea across. Is let's say you have a phone, and let's say I tell the phone to connect to Wi-Fi. Now, if I go away from my Wi-Fi network, let's say it's always looking for the Wi-Fi network of my house. So now I have a device that's always going, where's Louis Wi-Fi? Where's Louis Wi-Fi? Louis Wi-Fi here? Somebody else can pick up that there's a device nearby that is looking for that particular Wi-Fi. And they may be able to pick up certain things that are emitted from my device if I forget to turn certain things off. And they can use that to fingerprint you and figure out, oh, well, the only person who ever passes by here who's looking for this Wi-Fi is Louis. So even if his car's license plate has changed, or even if he's in a different car, there's probably Lewis's phone in there. And they can use this type of information to figure out who you are and where you're going. And that's what this company does. Identify suspects through the electronic devices they carry. SignalTrace is an advanced signal intelligence system that enhances traditional automated license plate reader capabilities by detecting and correlating nearby electronic devices with vehicles of interest. It bridges license plate recognition data with sensor-captured device identifiers, such as those for mobile phones, Bluetooth wearables, and vehicle systems, to create a unique, trackable electronic fingerprint for investigative use. When multiple devices constantly move together within a vehicle, SignalTrace's algorithms link them to that vehicle's license plate and timestamp location data. This correlation provides investigators with another layer of actionable intelligence, even if a suspect changes or removes a plate. They have a patent for systems and methods for electronic signature tracking. SignalTrace correlates license plates to a variety of identifiable device types, including mobile phones, tire pressure sensors, vehicle hotspots, wearables, watches, fitness trackers, security and safety sensors, tablets and smartphones, wireless headphones, infotainment systems, laptops, and you can name some of your Bluetooth devices. You can name. Oh my God. This is making such a good argument. They're using wired headphones. Wired headphones. LSAG EOC Plus captures device frequencies emitted into the air. It does not decrypt or capture the contents of the devices or their communications. Oh, it doesn't capture my communications. It's just used in tandem with other pieces of hardware that are put up that violate the Fourth Amendment by allowing the police and city employees to figure out where I am every single second of the day. And they just combine it with a little AI system so that even if I take my license plate off, they just know that it's me. And they're not very far off from being able to use it to profile people to say, I don't know, where do people that voted for Ron Paul in 2008 and 2012 congregate on a Wednesday night at 9 p.m.? At what point are people just going to show up at their city council and town halls and say, fuck this shit, get this stuff fuck out of my city, or we're going to start cutting it out ourselves? I have seen pushback against this, but I have not seen the amount or the level that I would like. And I have this fear that this type of stuff is not going to get pushed back against in a serious, concentrated way until it's too late. In Colorado, I already did a video on how a gentleman gets pulled over every single time he passes one of these cameras because they have the wrong arrest record. So apparently, I forget if it was something like a lowercase or versus an uppercase or like a 0 versus an O or some shit like that. But because of that error, he gets pulled over by the police regularly. And the most fucked up part is they won't even tell him who they think he is. They will say, okay, I'm sorry, sir, this is an error. This warrant is not for you. But he never knows. Are you chasing somebody because they stole a Snickers bar from an 7-Eleven, or are you chasing somebody that you think is Richard Kuklinski the Iceman? Because if you think that you're chasing Richard Kuklinski the Iceman, then you think that this warrant is out for somebody who has 200 or 300 murders, you might treat that person differently. And if I knew that my car was a car that you think belongs to a mob serial killer, that's dangerous for me because the police are going to react differently based on what they think you did. And they won't even tell this man what they think he did. This man, who the police admit is not accused of a crime, is not guilty of a crime, is not suspected of a crime, is pulled over regularly because the stupid fucking clanker in the database thinks that he is somebody he is not. This man says that he used this system to stalk his ex because he was sleep deprived. Why is this shit still here? They're actually going to try and bring this shit back to Austin, Texas very soon. They're going to do everything they can to try and install these cameras, even though they were taken out earlier. I hope everybody shows up against this. You do not have to be anti-police to think that this is fucking weird. I have never come out on this channel and said that I am universally against the police. I do not have an ACAB sticker on my car, anything like that. That's not me. But this is fucking weird. This is about so much more than Democrat versus Republican or a back to blue bumper sticker or anything. This is something different altogether. And it's fucking weird. It's fucking creepy. And it's not something that I think you should be paying for with your tax dollars. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What would you think if your city or your police department announced that they were going to start using this technology to try and fingerprint everybody who goes by all the time based on the wireless signals that your devices emit? I don't want to just have devices that don't emit anything wirelessly. I want to have devices that just emit random bullshit wirelessly. Sometimes I think we're at a point where there's no turning back on any of this stuff. And the best thing to do is not to try and minimize the data that gets collected, but maximize the amount of junk data that we emit just to confuse and fuck up the system and make it useless. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. Also, another last minute notice. On this Tuesday, on the 23rd, I'm going to be in California to attend this hearing. This is a hearing at 9:30 a.m., room 2100. And I don't know if that's 1021 O Street or 1021 0 Street. I guess I'd be just like that sheriff in Colorado that got the wrong guy in the flock camera. But in all seriousness, I'm going to be here on June 23rd in the morning, and we're going to be talking about this anti-3D printer bill where they're going to try to put blocking technology in all 3D printers to stop them from printing firearm parts. This bill is going to try and make printing certain shapes illegal. They're going to try to imply intent to a shape. This bill would destroy the idea of being able to have an open source 3D printer. Because if you mandate blocking technology be installed inside of a 3D printer, then you can't have a 3D printer that's based on open source software anymore. And if your 3D printer is no longer based on open source software, it would allow the manufacturer to do things like say, oh, we've released a new update. If you want to be able to print more than 3 things a day, you have to pay a subscription because you wouldn't be able to delete the code that has enshittified the printer. I have written several wiki articles that may be useful for you to bring by. We have a bunch of evidence that many people from the 3D printing community have contributed. Something like this: the evil Glock switch, fully automatic conversion device, easily detected by algorithm, the same device with an added superfluous geometry which the user simply removes following printing, making detection by an algorithm basically impossible. We've gone over how this Glock pistol that's fit with this specific rear backplate looks very similar to a hot shoe mount for a camera, silencer for a gun, looks just like a flashlight. Cordless drill grip looks like a gun handle. This law is so stupid in so many ways. The best way to ensure that this type of crap does not spread to the entire country is to get as many people to show up as possible. Remember that Bloomberg is behind this. Bloomberg is funding this. He has given over $50 million to the group that is pushing this garbage all over the country. And don't let him win. Even if you don't care about 3D printing, do it for the sake of freedom. How many of you are pissed off that Bloomberg got the Gamers Nexus NVIDIA documentary pulled? If you're still mad at that, show up in Sacramento on Tuesday morning. I'll be there. I'll be filming. I'd like to talk to some of the people that are showing up, and I would like to get as many people as possible to make their voice heard. I need you to show up. I need you to show up well-dressed, well-groomed, well-spoken, be professional, be courteous, be polite, but be informed. Don't assume that you have to be an expert in order to push this stuff through, because again, the people that are pushing this through are so fucking ignorant that they actually believe that banning shapes is a thing. Trust me. They're not a fucking expert. And whatever experience you believe you're missing that would not make you qualified to show up at an event like this, you are more qualified than the people showing up in favor of this bill. I guarantee you that. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next video, and I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Bye now.